From the Germantown campus of Montgomery College, it's NJCAA College Baseball, with the Montgomery College Raptors welcoming the Hawks from the College of Southern Maryland. I'm Michael Brown alongside Joe Thompson. And Joe, I know we are both looking forward to seeing the Raptors in action this afternoon. When we were here, since we were here 3 weeks ago for that doubleheader against Prince George's, the Raptors have been on a nice little run.
Oh yes, Michael, they've won 10 of their last 15 after sweeping Prince George's Community College. That puts their record at 20-10 on the season.
And they've been winning in exciting fashion with a lot of late game heroics. You know, if they keep this up, we're going to have to call them the comeback kids.
Oh, they've added that comeback win to their repertoire for sure. They have won no less than 6 come-from-behind games in this season. That just shows the resilience this team has.
And one of the most recent and one of the most exciting was about 10 days ago against Hagerstown. The Raptors were trailing 6-1 going into the bottom of the 9th inning, but they scored 6 runs to win it. The last 2 coming on a dramatic 2-run, 2-out walk-off home run from Will Burgess. And just the other day when I was up here on campus, I had a chance to talk to Will Burgess and also Raptor head coach Dan Rasher. We talked about what's all this late game heroics about, and also what's the team's mindset when they're trailing late in the game.
They're a team that fights to the end. We play to the last out, and they're learning how to win games. And a key part of learning how to win games is learning that we need to take pitches at certain times. We need to take walks, get on base any way we can, keep the line moving. And if another team makes a mistake, we're going to be there to crunch on it, because we've got some nice hitters on the team, and they've been doing well.
Game's not over until it's over. Just keep on fighting. We've been down 6 games. We've always came back to win them. So that shows a lot about this team. We got a lot of fight and a lot of heart.
It's definitely a big boost, because in a lot of those 6 games, different guys have helped. You know, one game we had a big hit from Chris Coakley, you know, and we're spreading it, you know, Austin Grass, Will Burgess, Harold. We don't know which guy's going to do it, but somebody's been stepping up, you know, at key times for us. And it's kind of going around the team, which I think that really helps.
You know, you don't want to stress it too much, but you know, we got a game to win. But everyone's loose in the dugout, not too tense, and I think that's what helps out us a lot.
And with all these great comebacks, it's one of the reasons why you and I are beginning to think this could be a very special Raptors team this season. But you know, Joe, as Dan Rasher just said in the package, Will Burgess is not the only hot bat in the Raptors order. They've been spreading the offensive production around.
Oh, that is for sure. First of all, you have freshman Rayo Fabre. He's hitting .375, which leads the team. He's also tied for the team lead in RBI with 21. Then you've got catcher Austin Grass. He's hitting a robust .352. He also has 20 ribbies. And Harold Marte is hitting .333. He's got 20 runs knocked in as well. So the bats have absolutely been coming alive for the Raptors.
And one of the other great parts of this nice little run that the Raptors have been on is that it's been a total team effort. The pitchers are carrying their share of the weight too, and 2/3 of the way through the regular season, Raptors head coach Dan Rasher is pretty happy with his young hurlers.
Clayton Dwyer, he's really having a good year. He's developed a curveball, and he's really competing on the mound, doing a great job. Michael Hovermill, he's just kind of the steady guy. He's doing well. Jamil Kanan, I believe he has a win and 3 saves, pitching much better than he did last year, much better, and he's a force. And then Joe Daly's putting in some good innings for us. Matt Dow, he's getting the tough assignments, and he's battling out there. So to answer your question, I think we're doing well, doing better than expected pitching-wise this year.
Now, turning to today's game, Joe, on paper, the stats certainly favor Montgomery College. And Joe and I will talk a lot during the course of the game about the matchup of the stats between the two teams. But you know, Joe, I think you can throw those out because I've seen Montgomery College play Southern Maryland many times over the years. For some reason, the games are always very entertaining, they're always very competitive, and they're always very well played.
Oh, the Hawks aren't just going to roll over for this Raptors team. They're going to give their all. They're going to, bring their A game too. So this is going to be pretty competitive.
There's no question about it, and we are just about set to get underway. We're coming right back with the first pitch of the afternoon. You're watching Raptor Baseball on MCTV.
We know you have dreams, a great job, a better life. Career success starts at Montgomery College. MC helps you get the hands-on education you need for the job you want. And you can save up to half the cost of attending other colleges. Career success. It's in your future. Start your future now at Montgomery College.
Welcome back to the Germantown campus of Montgomery College. Michael Brown alongside Joe Thompson. We are just about set to get underway. Let's take a look at the batting order for the Hawks from the College of Southern Maryland.
You see Derek Taitano there. He's their best hitter. He's a guy we need to keep an eye on here.
And C.J. Hill is their power hitter. The head coach for Southern Maryland is Aaron Michael. He's in his second year. His assistants are Brad Sullivan and Todd Snell. And here's a look at the Raptors starting pitcher, Mike Hovermill.
Hovermill's got a record of 3-1 with a 4.32 ERA, 31 strikeouts, and 33.1 innings of work.
Yeah, he's been a very, very steady starter for the Raptors this year, and been giving nothing but solid effort all season long for Dan Rasher.
Yeah, he comes in with a variety of pitches. He's got a fastball, a good change. Location is key for him. He's a real bulldog on the mound.
So leading off, let's take a real quick look at the Raptors defensive lineup. We got a couple of changes there, Joe, from what we're used to seeing.
Yeah, we found out earlier today that they're missing Sean Sullivan out there in the outfield, one of their spark plug players, one of their best defensive players. So the rest of the guys are going to have to step up in his absence.
Well, that was Darryl Arbaugh leading off, and he sent a can of corn out there to Rio Fabre and left, who gathered it in for the first out of the ball game. That brings up number 2, Matthew Finch, the left fielder. And Finch is a .289 hitter for Southern Maryland. Southern Maryland's been very streaky this year. Talking to their head coach, Aaron Michael, they started out the year dropping 8 of their first 10. Then they went on a 9-game winning streak, and now there's a base hit through the hole into left field. So Fitch with a base hit to get the first runner on board.
He's able to get the barrel of the bat on the ball, pull it in between short and third base right there, and get their first runner for the Hawks.
That brings up A.J. Domino, the second baseman, one of their better hitters at .321 batting average. But
this is a team that likes to steal a lot, so watch out for them on the base paths, these Hawks.
They've stolen almost 60 bases this year in 30 games, so that's a.
And they've only been caught just a handful of times, so they've been really successful on the base paths.
And Hovermill clearly aware of that, as he's gone to first twice already. Back to Southern Maryland just for a second. They won 9 in a row. Now they're in the midst of a 10-for-13 losing string. So they have been like a roller coaster this year, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, their coach said that, pitching and defense has been, that's how the team has gone. They started off strong in those aspects and won a lot of games. And, then they had a lull their defense letting them down, the pitching not being as good, and so they lost. Some. It's all about consistency in this game.
There's a fastball for a strike. Our home plate umpire today is Norm Gordon, and out on the bases is Fred Nastry. Apparently he goes by the nickname Nasty. That's what he told, and he's in there safe. As Teddy Grass, the catcher for the Raptors, had a little trouble getting it out of his glove.
Yeah, he the transfer from glove to hand, he had a little bobble in there, so he wasn't able to get it out from the plate as fast as possible, and that's an easy steal right there for pitch.
Well, because of the injury to Sean Sullivan, the Raptors have had to make move some people around. Teddy Grass, the catcher, his brother Austin Grass is normally the starting catcher. He had to move to third, and then Rayo Fabre, who is normally the third baseman, moved to left, and then Darren Preble, who is normally the left fielder, moved to center because of Sean Sullivan. So one injury changes 4 positions on the defense for the Raptors.
Yeah, and for Montgomery College, it's kind of a who's on first now. Trying to figure out where everybody is.
We're not used to seeing this this lineup. There's a fastball and it's fouled off.
Live fastball there from Hoverville.
Domino is a very productive hitter. Comes into the game hitting .321. He also tops on the team in steals.
Yeah, he's definitely one of their key players.
So full count now to Domino. Man on second base is
It's Fitch.
Fitch. There's a throw to second, safe.
Schubert sneaking in behind Fitch, trying to catch him napping back there, but he's paying attention.
And it is a cold and windy day up here at Germantown. We'd be lying if we said it was April-like temperatures.
Well, we don't call this place Windy Hill for nothing, right?
Boy, that is for sure. And it is more than living up to its name today.
Gusts going up to around 40 miles an hour, I hear.
See the flag over Hovermill's shoulder. Domino does a nice job of staying alive there. Just got a piece of it.
Hovermill's got a nice 1 to 6, 1 to 7 curveball, goes pretty much straight down. Just the fact that Domino was able to fight that one off, it shows you how good of a hitter he is. So that was a quality pitch.
So count's still full. We got 1 out. We're in the top of the first inning. It's a single game today, folks, so this will be a full 9 innings. There's a base hit up the middle. And here comes Fitch. He's being waved around, and he scores easily, standing up. So just like that, Southern Maryland on top, 1-0. A.J. Domino with a RBI single.
And already we see the loss of Sean Sullivan in the field. As that ball gets out to the center field, Darren Preble, it rolls out there, and he bobbles it. He wasn't able to get a good throw to try to cut the runner off at home.
And that brings up number 8, Derek Titano.
Titano leads the team in hitting at .365 on the season.
And he grounds one to second. Out at second, throw to first. Double play, the pitcher's best friend. And all of a sudden, just like that, Hovermill is out of the inning. So, but Southern Maryland does pick up one. Take a quick look at the double play.
Yep. Ground ball, tailor-made, Burgess. Tosses over to Schubert and clean up at Marte at first base.
Nice job. That gets Hovermill out of the inning, and As the Raptors get ready for their first at bat, let's take a look at their batting order.
All right, so see Fabre's there, Burgess, Grass, Marte. That's and Preble. Those are their big hitters, high average hitters. And then we were also able to talk to the coaches for the Raptors about the hitting that they've been doing.
Our hitters, we have about 6 guys over 300. They're being patient at the plate. They're hitting good pitches, and we've talked with them all year about having a plan. And it takes a while to get that mindset. Watch the pitcher, know what's coming. Your next at bat, and I think they're getting it. Our averages are rising. And one of the biggest stats that I noticed, I looked at that yesterday, is we've walked 148 times to, I believe it was 80 for the opponents. So that's a huge advantage for us, and it tells us that our kids are being patient and swinging the strikes.
And, of course, that was Dan Rasher, the head coach of the Raptors. He's in his 13th season. His assistants are John Silk, Andy Hoy, Bob O'Connor, Justin Keepafor, and Sam Bender. And there's the starting pitcher for College of Southern Maryland out there.
Nick Blanton's got an ERA of 5.71, comes with 4 pitches, fastball, curve, slider, and change.
And leading off for the Raptors is Ryo Fabre. Normally their number 3 hitter.
Yes, but with Sullivan out, they want another guy who can get on base and start some rallies for the Raptors. Fabre, he's got a 375 batting average. He gets on base nearly half the time he comes up to the plate.
Dan Rasher tells me he just attacks the ball. You saw that on that first foul ball. He went after it hard.
He sees a pitch he likes. He's not going to stand back and wait for it. He's going to go after it.
He's a freshman, and he walks.
Again, that's why they moved him up to the start of the lineup. Somebody who gets on base in lots of different ways. He can get on by walking or by swinging the bat.
And that brings up Will Burgess, who we talked a lot about in the pregame. We also heard from him.
Yeah, I saw Burgess hit that game-winning walk-off home run a little while back, and he's another guy who drives in a lot of runs for this Raptors team. 15 on the season.
He also leads the team in home runs for a second baseman. That's impressive. And he's diminutive, but he's powerful.
Your middle infielders aren't usually the ones who provide most of your power, but there's an exception to every rule.
I kind of, there have been some powerful, smaller players over the years. Joe Morgan comes to mind.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at some of the players that are out there, like some of the Houston Astros players. They've got out there.
Altuve
is a powerful dude for as small as he is. Looks like Blanton's paying pretty close attention to Fabre over at first.
As he should. Fabre can run. There's a foul ball.
Nice slow curve right there by Blanton. And Burgess just got ahead of it a little bit.
Fabre was 6 steals on the season for the Raptors. Raptors have only been thrown out twice all year when attempting to steal. Takes it outside.
Close, he's trying to paint the outside corner with the fastball out there, just a couple inches off.
Good look at Blanton. Already up to 10 pitches. Only on the second batter. There's the wind knocked that one down. That looked like it was going to be a base hit to left field, and the wind just flat knocked that one down.
I think the ball comes in. I think he got it kind of off the fist and screwballed.
Right.
As it was flying through the air, but didn't have a lot of mustard on it, so it's kind of an easy catch and not quite able to get Fabre back at first.
And that brings up the number 3 hitter, Austin Grass.
And this Mr. Grass is hitting .352 on the season, one of the better hitters on this Raptor team and in the conference.
And we have the brothers Grass in the game today. He shows bunt and takes a strike. Boy, you know, going back to that line drive out by Burgess, had Fabre been running, that would have been a automatic double play.
Easily.
And Blanton paying attention to Fabre there.
And with the wind blowing today, like fly balls are going to be an adventure.
Oh, anything up in the air today is going to be an adventure. It's going to take it probably, at least the way the wind is blowing now, is probably going to take it to the right side. An infield pop-up, one of those sky-high ones, could really be fun to watch.
That's one of those typical silo shots that go straight up. It might start off straight up and end up next to the dugout.
So Blanton preoccupied, I'd almost call it at this point, with Fabre at first.
And that's the type of thing that for a young pitcher, you might get him distracted from the player the batter at the plate.
Raptors had to hit and run on there, and but Grass fouled it off. Fabre with a really nice jump.
It's a fastball that kind of tailed toward the outside. Grass fouled it off, wasn't able to get the head of the barrel of the bat on the ball as well as he wanted to.
I would say probably that's at least 6 throws to first by Blanton. There's a pop-out, and it's going to be out of play off to the right side.
An off-speed pitch, probably a change-up from Blanton right there. Grass able to keep his weight back, not get out ahead of that one.
He is working Blanton here. I'll tell you that. He's getting his money's worth with this at bat. There's a bouncer to third, throw to second in time, throw to first, double play. So both teams turn a double play here to end the first. And after 1 inning of play, we're scoreless, and we'll be right back with the second after this.
Hi, I'm Tim Kirkjian with ESPN, and you're watching Raptor Baseball on MC TV.
And welcome back to the Germantown campus of Montgomery College. And, of course, that was ESPN's own Tim Kirkjian there, welcoming us back from our break. Tim was on campus a few months ago. I had the opportunity to interview him. Tremendous guy. Really enjoyed the conversation.
It's wonderful for a person of his caliber to come to Montgomery College to give his insights and life lessons to students and the community. So we're glad and thankful for him coming to visit us.
So we are all set for the top of the second. Southern Maryland on top. And number 22, Cody Bodorf, leading off for Southern Maryland.
Bodoff comes into the game hitting 200, but has a lot of power.
He's a powerful-looking kid.
Got a couple home runs on the season so far.
There's a strike. 3.
Yeah.
3 pitches, 1 out.
3 quick pitches. Overmill like he had some trouble in the first inning. Didn't, but a little fastball painting the outside corner right there.
And that brings up number 32, Trevor Birch.
Birch hitting 227 on the season. He has no walks and 75 at bats so far.
Wow. And he swings it. There's one of those pop-ups we were talking about. Burgess is under it, and he puts it away. You could see that ball moving, but he had a beat on it all the way, Joe.
Yeah, when that ball went up in the air, it looked like he was coming right to where he was standing at second base. By the time he caught it, he was about 40 feet toward the right field line. That wind is pushing the ball.
And that brings up Gavin Moore. And he takes it low for a ball.
Moore's hitting 297 on the season.
And there's a pop-up to third base. Austin Grass under it, and he's got it for the third out. So a very efficient inning for Mike Hovermill as he sets the Hawks down 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to get a look inside the Raptor dugout because, Joe, we've got a milestone to talk about. Last week, MC Baseball celebrated quite the milestone because Dan Rasher, the head coach of Montgomery College, recorded the 400th win of his career here at Montgomery College. 13 years as head coach, and he is quite a guy. 13 wins at this level. I had a chance to talk to Dan earlier in the week about his milestone.
I mean, that was a great win. That was a great win, 400 wins. Very proud of that. But in order to win 400 wins, you have to have some really good players and really good coaching staff and kind of manage that. And we've been fortunate. And next stop is 500.
And that was Dan Rasher. He's a little bit camera shy.
He's definitely camera shy.
Yeah.
Camera shy. He's not the type of guy who's
No.
looks for a bunch of acclaim. You see right here, like the baby face.
Yeah, there's babyface Dan Rasher.
Rasher right there.
And there he is with his back when we were not a unified college. We were
so we had three campuses with 3 different teams. So that's what the green is now. It's all Raptors purple, and Rasher, has stuck it out through all the years. And congratulations on 400 wins.
He's a tremendous guy, and let me tell you, folks, he's headed to several Hall of Fames. He's headed to the Montgomery College Hall of Fame. He's headed to the NJCAA Hall of Fame, and he's headed to the Maryland JUCO Hall of Fame.
And he might be heading to the Groundskeepers Hall of Fame too, because not only is he the coach of the head coach of the baseball team here, but he's also the facilities manager for athletics.
Oh, he has done some amazing things with this field. It's no secret this field it's tough to deal with. The drainage is not the best. And, man, there have been times when we've come here to do a game, we thought there's no way we're ever going to do it, but because of Dan's hard work, we get it in. So there's a nice catch over the shoulder. And that's 1 out. That was Harold Marte with the pop out. See if we get a look at that.
This, again, against the wind, but that wind may have kept the ball in the park right there instead of going over the fence.
That brings
good over-the-shoulder catch there.
That brings up Darren Preble. He's in center field today, again because of the injury to Sean Sullivan. Preble's a good contact hitter. He's hitting .304 on the season. And he pops one up. This will be an adventure. The catcher's out, and he gloves it.
The Southern Maryland squad has been able to track all the balls hit into the air and, convert them into outs.
And that brings up Brendan Grass, affectionately known as Teddy.
Our guy Teddy here.
Of course, he is the brother of Austin Grass. He's the younger brother. And he takes the ball outside. So 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the second.
I think both of these pitchers are being very efficient with their pitches.
Blanton had a bit of a chore in the first inning, but he's come back much more efficiently here in the second inning. It's 16 pitches in the first inning and only 8 so far in this inning. Make that 9, but it's a strike.
Yeah, nice slider. Looked like it was going to come low and over the outside corner and then slides out where you can't reach it.
And Teddy Grass swings right through that one to even the count at 2-2. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Ball in the dirt. That runs the count full now.
Blanton went back to the well, but tailed a little bit too far outside.
Off the fist. That's going to be tough. Grass motoring down the line. Safe as the first baseman drops the ball.
Speedy Teddy Grass able to beat out that throw right there. It was a slow roller in the infield to the left side.
Get another look at that. That was off the fist.
Yep.
Got past the pitcher.
Botford charged it, but they weren't able to get it in time. Teddy's on first base.
So Teddy Grass with the gets on. That brings up number 20, Chris Coakley. Chris has not had a lot of at-bats this year, but he has had some key ones. He's only had 9 at-bats, but he has 3 RBIs with his 9 at-bats. So
when the runners are on base, he steps up his game.
Well, talking about that Hagerstown game in pregame, he had a key hit in that 9th inning rally. Drove in 2 runs. Came in as a pinch hitter and promptly lined a single into center to drive in 2 runs in that comeback win over Hagerstown 10 days ago.
And that's why he's in the lineup now, trying to recreate that magic.
So Teddy Grass on first. Coakley pops it up. This one to shortstop. He's under it, sort of, and gathers it in as the wind makes every ball in the air today interesting. So 3 up, 3 down, 3 outs in that inning were all recorded via pop out. So after 2 complete innings of play, we're Southern Maryland on top 1-0. We'll be right back after this.
We know you have dreams, a great job, a better life. Career success starts at Montgomery College. MC helps you get the hands-on education you need for the job you want. And you can save up to half the cost of attending other colleges. Career success. It's in your future. Start your future now at Montgomery College.
And welcome back. And Joe, during the break, we just got a look at a very nice video tribute to MC basketball star Colin Turner. Boy, what a year he had, Joe. Maybe the best in MC history.
Well, I guess he was all right. All he did was, lead the Raptors to the national championship tournament where they finished 5th in the nation. Then after that, he's named the Spalding Division III National Player of the Year. He's also a first-team All-American, Maryland JUCO Player of the Year, first-team All-Maryland JUCO, and first-team All-Region 20. I guess he had an okay, he was also second in the nation in scoring. He did okay.
Yeah,
we're very happy for him. He couldn't ask for any better thing happen to a better kid.
No, he's a good kid, a hard worker, and he earned everything he got. Like you said, he averaged 28 points a game, second in the nation, on 48.6% shooting from the field and 42.4 from three.
Like I said, he's pretty good.
And I want to tell you, I went to the national championship tournament with the Raptors, and he was clearly the best player on the court. So that brings up Seth Morrison leading off the top of the third for Southern Maryland, and Seth is hitting .234 coming into today's game. This is his first time up. Hovermill had a very efficient second inning, threw less than 10 pitches. 7 to be exact.
He's already got 5 in this one at bat.
Yeah, it strikeout and 2 pop-outs last inning, and he walks Seth Morrison to lead things off here in the top of the third.
Yeah, it looks like he's overthrowing his fastball a little bit. His release point is not exactly where he wants it to be. A couple of high sailing fastballs, so he's got to get locked back into the strike zone.
Now that brings up C.J. Hill, and he is the big power hitter for Southern Maryland.
He's got
6 home runs.
6 homers on the season. He doesn't have a high batting average, hitting .250, but he leads the team in home runs and slugging.
There's a high fly ball to left center field. Fabre over. Nice catch.
I think they had a little bit of a shift off. And Preble was way over in right center field, so it was a long run for both outfielders there. Fabre makes a nice diving catch right there.
Nice play. He had a long run for that one. So that's 1 out in the inning. And that brings up number 9, Dale Arbaugh. He's the leadoff hitter, and first time up, he popped out. Southern Maryland scored 1 in the top of the first, and that's where we are.
Yale College of Southern Maryland. Down where my people are from.
Yeah, Joe, you know that area well.
I do indeed.
We're going to play some Southern Maryland geography with Joe later in the game.
Hey, I'm down for it.
He's going to explain what a Chopticon is.
I will explain what a Chopticon is because my father graduated from Chopticon High School in Chopticon, Maryland.
There's a ground ball to second. Burgess looked to second, but they were running on the play. His only out was at first.
It's a smart play. Hold on to the ball if you don't have a play and just get the sure out.
Southern Maryland was running with the pitch.
Matthew Fitch back up again. He scored the first run of the game, I believe.
Yes, he did. He singled and stole second, and then scored on the single by Domino. So he is 1 for 1 on the day. 2 outs here in the top of the third. Runner on second base. He shows bunt, but it's a strike.
That's an excellent pitch there by Hovermill. A kind of slur, mix between the slider and a curve that dives down and away from a right-handed batter. Yes. Trying to get that bunt down, couldn't find that ball.
That's a tough pitch to bunt.
And a good stop.
I'm not sure what happened there. I think Hovermill lost the grip on the ball. He's laughing. They're lucky they didn't give up an extra base there, though.
Yeah. The pickoff attempt right here that only went about 7 feet away from the mound. I don't think this is quite what they wanted to do.
No, I'm not.
No harm, no foul.
A curveball, but it's blasted into right center field. It's going to go near the fence as Morrison comes in to score, and it's now 2-0. Double there for Harbaugh.
As Fitch at the plate hit the
sorry,
ball.
Fitch.
Yeah, who just drills this into left center field. Fabre gets it before it gets to the fence, but not in time to stop a run from scoring and Fitch from getting over to second base. Good piece of hitting there.
That brings up Domino, who had a single and an RBI his first time up. So Southern Maryland on top 2-0 here in the bottom of the or top of the third inning against Mike Hovermill for the Raptors.
Hovermill's game, so to speak, is to have control, to hit his spots. His location is key to his success, and he hasn't been able to hit all the spots that he's been wanting to, and it shows in the score right now.
And Fitch at second runs well, so anything to the outfield, quite likely score a run. There's a pop foul. So Hovermill ahead in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Hovermill's fastballs are still coming in high, which you know, when you have a fast runner on second base there, you know, a shot to the outfield is going to at least move him, if not score him.
And he's into third base.
Yeah, he picked the perfect pitch to
run on.
To run on there, a hard slider that went into the dirt. Great stop right there by Teddy Grass. Keep the run from scoring on that.
He very well could have gone all the way home because he was stealing third to begin with. So he had a head start. There's a line drive to deep center. Preble back, and he's got it. So the ball was well hit, but Preble was there. He hauled it in. But Southern Maryland does pick up a run here. So after 2.5 innings of play, the Hawks are on top, 2-0. We'll be right back after this.
Why is Montgomery College the place for you? MC is an 18-to-1 student-to-teacher ratio and convenient day, evening, weekend, and online classes. Montgomery College provides academic and career support services to help you reach your goals. MC students come from more than 160 countries. MC has transfer agreements with more than 40 colleges and universities. MC provides career planning services to jumpstart your career. Call or visit us online to make your move today.
And while we were away, we saw another nice video tribute to MC's Armani Lomax, another outstanding player, Joe, who had a great year.
Yeah, just like Colin Turner, she's all right. You know, led her team to the national tournament, 5th in the nation, first team All-American, first team All-Maryland JUCO, and all-region, averaging 18 points and 4.5 rebounds a game, 1.9 steals and 3.1 assists. Congratulations to Armani and all that you've done for Montgomery College and all that you have in your future.
Oh, she's got a lot in her future. She's a great young woman. Definitely the backbone of the Raptors team this year, and I'd say last year even as a freshman. So Chris Amparo leading off now for the Raptors.
Chris Amparo has not had a good start to the season. 2 hits and 26 at-bats. He's still trying to find his way at the plate this season.
And he's run the count even at 2-2 against Blanton. There's a ground ball off the fist to short. It's going to be tough. Amparo runs well, but they get him.
You called it. Blanton was able to get that ball in on Amparo's fist right there. He kind of fights it off right there, but shortstop scoops it up right there. Nice throw over the first. First out.
And that brings up the Raptors shortstop, Peyton Schubert. And he shows bunt.
Schubert batting .229 on the season. He's a threat to both walk and or strike out. He does both at a high rate.
But despite the fact that he has a .229 batting average, I think one of the most arresting stats on Peyton is he has 15 RBIs on 16 hits, Joe.
It means that he's a clutch hitter. If there's somebody on base, he's going to put the bat on the ball. The Raptors in this game just need to get anybody on base.
Blanton's breaking stuff looks like it's really working, Joe. There's a pop up into shallow left, goes into foul territory, and out of play.
Yeah, not only are they fighting the wind over there, at this point in the game, they're probably fighting the sun on a ball that's going over to the left field line as well. So you got all kinds of the elements in Mother Nature playing tricks on you as they're trying to chase that ball over there.
Well, we had a 3 o'clock game time, 3 o'clock Eastern, so sun can be a little tough, particularly the way this ball park is oriented. Boy, the wind is really whipping around.
And the wind, this park changes directions at a whim, too.
Oh, it really does. Amparo pops another one down the left field line. And it's also out of play.
And what a lot of fly balls being induced by Blanton here.
He is yet to allow a hit. And there's Schubert with the fly ball to left. Left fielder tracks it. It was a bit of an adventure, but he made the catch.
It was. He started back, and then he moved left, and then he had to move in and dive to catch that ball. Again, the wind swirling around in here and playing tricks on him.
And that brings up Rayo Fabre. He walked his first time up.
An easy line out turns into a diving play. That's what the wind here does.
That's off the end of the bat. Ground ball to first. Easy play for the third out of the inning. So after 3 complete, Blanton sailing along here as the Raptors yet to get a hit. We played three complete here in Germantown. We'll be right back with the top of the 4th after this.
New and emerging biotechnology fields require the latest advanced laboratory research techniques, and BioTrack is the premier training program in the DC region for today's elite research scientists. BioTrack has provided hands-on training to over 16,000 scientists through postgraduate level workshops, team taught by experts, active researchers from prestigious local and national institutions. BioTrack also specializes in providing customized biotechnology workshops for academic, commercial, or government institutions. BioTrack's workshops are conducted at Montgomery College's Bioscience Education Center, conveniently located within the Pinckney Innovation Complex for Science and Technology at MC's Germantown campus. This state-of-the-art facility, with its 25 labs and small class sizes, is the ideal environment for mastering courses that specialize in bioinformatics, next-generation sequencing, gene editing with CRISPR, as well as other genomic, stem cell, and immunology-related areas. For course and registration information, go to biotrack.com. BioTrack, excellence in biotechnology training.
And welcome back. There is a beautiful panoramic shot of the Germantown campus with our new Bioscience Center there on the left side of the screen. Here's a nice panoramic view of Windy Hill. The Raptors in the field, and Southern Maryland coming to bat here in the top of the 4th inning. And number 8, Derek Titano. He grounded into a double play his first time up. So he is the top hitter for average on this Southern Maryland team. Came into the game hitting .365.
Yes, and has 22 RBI on the season. He drives in some runs.
Also has a home run and doesn't strike out that often. Thus, the .365 batting average.
And the .486 on base percentage.
And he walks to lead off the 4th. Pitcher's bane walking that leadoff hitter.
And again, Hovermill's really having problems. Oh, it was a very close pitch there. Maybe a little bit low. Definitely over the plate.
So that brings up Cody Bodorf, and he struck out his first time up on 3 pitches. There's a strike.
Nice pitch on the outside corner, low and outside. Hovermill's going to have to do more of that to keep this Hawks team at bay.
Bodorf is a Waldorf, Maryland native. Went to North Point High School. I'm sure you know where that is, Joe.
It's down there in Charles County. And the look of exasperation on Hovermill's face is showing. Like the pitches that he's throwing, he thinks either should be called or should do something other than what they're doing. It's definitely showing on his face.
There's a pop foul, and it's out of play. There is not a lot of foul ground behind home plate here.
Not much at all. So anything that goes backward over the catcher's head, more than likely is going to be out of play.
We've done a lot of games here over the years and seen very few pop-outs to the catcher behind the plate. There's a throw to first.
Very close.
Boy, they thought they had him.
That was a quick move by Hovermill over there. Marte had the tag on quick, but
let's take a look. Boy,
ooh,
that's
bang,
close.
Bang. If
he was in there.
If Marte had tagged him on the shoulder instead of getting him on the waist, it probably would have been out.
And he swings right through that for strike 3. So Hovermill comes back to get the strikeout.
A nice 2 Ks for Hovermill now.
That brings up Birch.
All speed pitch, the changeup fooled him.
Yep, took a little something off of it. Birch popped out his first time up to the second baseman. There's throw to first. Hovermill's got a good move for a right-hander.
And he's accurate with it too. He throws it right on the base. Right on the base, right around knee level for the first baseman, and make a quick tag.
That's just a reminder that we know you're there throw. That one didn't have a lot of emphasis behind it. 1 out here in the top of the 4th. Southern Maryland on top 2-0. And if you're just joining us, I'm Michael Brown along with Joe Thompson. And we are here for the Raptors, Montgomery College Raptors against the Southern Maryland Hawks.
Nice fastball right there. Fouled off by Birch.
Throw to first. And he gets back.
Came in standing.
That's rare to see that. And as a result, it made that throw to first a little closer. Good look at Marte. Pitch for a strike. There's the throw. And he is out.
No, I think he called him safe. He called him
called
safe
him
out
safe.
there. Yeah, It looked like the throw beat him to the bag. Just maybe.
Let's take another look.
Schubert not get the. Ooh, that was so close.
Boy, that was
so close.
I think Schubert thought he had him from the look of his body language there.
I think so too. It might have been the same. It might have been the same case where had he tagged him on the foot instead of further up the body, he probably would have been called out.
Good throw by Teddy Grass there, but the bottom line, the steal is successful.
That was a runner in scoring position, with only one out.
There's a ground ball to short. Schubert to first for the out.
Moves the runner over to third, though.
Does move the runner over to third, but with 2 outs, and that brings up Gavin Moore. And nice. Moore popped out his first time up in the second inning.
Good play by Schubert there, just to make the solid out. Don't try to be the hero.
There's a strike. So Titano at third base with 2 outs. And Gavin Moore at the plate. There's a line drive into left, but Fabre is right there. And he gathers it in for the third out of the inning. So good defense there by the Raptors throughout the inning. After 3.5 innings of play, Southern Maryland on top 2-0. Let's keep it right here, Joe, because let's talk about some track and field, because the season is underway. And while head coach Jamal Schools has a very young team this year with only 4 returning student athletes, they've already turned in some impressive results. After just 2 meets, the Raptors have already qualified 13 athletes for the national championships. Those 13 athletes have qualified in 22 different events. So clearly you've got Raptors doing double and triple duty, and in some cases you've got athletes who've qualified in up to 5 events, and that's pretty amazing, Joe.
Well, it sure is. Like, I don't know if ever I would have been able to do 5 good things, at any one time. But the NJCAA Track and Field National Championships are coming up May 10th through 12th at Mohawk Community College in Utica, New York, a place that you love to frequent. And I assume you'll be traveling with them because you love it up there so much in the Finger Lakes region.
Well, I think they can't have a national championship in the Utica area without me there now.
No, I think they would cancel it if you didn't show up.
For some reason, so many of the D3 NJCAA championships end up in that part of the country. And frankly, I think it's because there are so many D3 NJCAA schools up there.
Yeah, it makes it more cost-effective for most teams to be able to go up there.
So that's coming up in the middle of May. Looking forward to that. That's always a great event to cover. A lot of work, but let me tell you, it's fun, it's colorful. And there's no dull moments.
And we at Montgomery College are very appreciative of the work you put in to bring us those highlights.
I love it. And, of course, we've got a couple of defending national champions this year going back again. One we mentioned, or we saw in the video there throwing the hammer, Justina Ababio. She's the defending national champion in the discus. So that brings up Burgess, and he lined out to shortstop his first time up.
Yeah, and the Raptors are still looking to get any kind of solid contact.
There's a ground ball to second. Plenty of time for the out. And that brings up Austin Grass.
Nick Blanton has kept this Raptors team completely befuddled at the plate. Burgess gets a ball. He isn't able to drive it, just like a soft grounder to second base. And Blanton is still holding him hitless.
He is. That brings up Austin Grass, and he grounded into a double play his first time up. There's a base hit. So Austin Grass gets the first hit of the day for the Raptors.
I jinxed him.
You did, although I said it before you did.
Sorry, Hawks. Sorry, Nick Blanton.
Sorry, Mom and Dad
Sorry,
Blanton.
man.
Yep.
You know, glad you're watching, but sorry I jinxed your son.
Mom and Dad Blanton down there in La Plata, Maryland, watching the game.
The county seat of Charles County, my friend.
I told you we're going to play Charles County geography here
not
today
just
with
Charles,
Joe.
but St. Mary's in Calvert as well, my friend.
And that brings up Harold Marte. He popped out his first time up. One of the most productive hitters on the Raptor team, Joe.
Yes, he is. Like he started off this season slow when we did games earlier in the season. He wasn't hitting that well, but he has turned it on as the season has progressed. He found his groove, and he's hitting over 300 now.
Yeah, he's up to 322, right near the top of the leaderboard on in RBIs. Having a very, very solid season now. Playing much better at first too, that we've noticed.
Yes, he is. He tried to play too much hero and doing a lot of stretches and trying to scoop too many balls out of the ground instead of just doing the safe thing and stopping them. But I think he's been coached out of that type of play, so he's a lot more solid defensively at first base.
So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Austin Grass on first, on via single to left field. There's a off the fist, and he bloops it into left field for a base hit. If they were using wooden bats, I think it would be in 2.
Probably would have. It would have been splinters by now. But Marte did a good job of hitting there. There's a little curveball outside. He pulled it a little bit, but he stayed back on it. He didn't get out ahead of it. So by staying back, he was able to get enough of it to get it out of the infield. And now there's first and second.
And that brings up Darren Preble, who popped to the catcher his first time up. The ball actually ended up in the middle of the infield, but he did pop out to the catcher nonetheless.
Yeah, there was a meeting at the mound by the entire infield when that ball went up, because it went up on the third base side and ended up on the first base side.
And the catcher ended up making the grab. So Raptors now with 2 on, 1 out, and this is their first threat of any kind in the game. Our statistician Evan Brown says this pitcher reminds me of Tim Lincecum, I think appearance-wise, but his motion isn't as elaborate.
Not as herky-jerky. He just comes after you.
Lincecum, of course, has had a lot of physical problems. There's a check swing grounder to second, to first for 1, to second for 1, to first for the double play, and that snuffs out the rally as Blanton allows 2 hits, but
great scoop over at first by Titan, though.
We're going to get a look at that inning-ending double play here.
4, 6,
and we're going to
3.
take a real quick break. We'll be right back.
Interested in career success? Get to Montgomery College and we'll get you going. You can earn an associate's degree in only 2 years. With 3 campuses, award-winning faculty, and multiple online learning opportunities, Montgomery College will empower you to set your course and succeed. Want to pursue a bachelor's degree? If you start at MC, you can save 1/3 on total tuition costs of a 4-year program. Apply today.
And we are back on Windy Hill on the Germantown campus of Montgomery College. And don't let that flag deceive you. The flag isn't blowing a whole lot, but look at those trees going, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, this is, you can say like somewhat kind of when it wants to, but most of the time Windy Hill.
Yeah, and it swirls around and changes direction and makes for a very interesting environment. So Leading off the inning for Southern Maryland is Morrison. Now, he walked his first time up. He advanced on a fly ball and then eventually scored on Fitch's single. I'm sorry, double. That's right. Fitch actually
Fitch had to double.
Yeah. He actually turned a single into a double with his speed. Of course, there was a bobble in the outfield that helped that along. So Morrison up for his second time against Hovermill. We are already in the top of the fifth. And Hovermill with 55 pitches. There's a good fastball.
He brought the straight heat right there. He's been nibbling at the corners and it hasn't worked as well as he may have wanted it to, so I think this brings some power.
There's strike two. Yeah, we've noticed that he's had a little bit of problems with some of the balls and strike calls today.
Yeah, and some stuff that's a little bit off the corner, at least to the umpire's viewpoint, that Hovermill would rather be called strikes. Obviously, the ump's word trumps Hovermill's.
Always. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Check swing. Fouls it off. Stays alive.
It's a good pitcher's pitch right there. A curveball, but somehow, some way, Morrison was able to keep from swinging at that one.
All right. That evens the count at 2.
That one he was trying to throw at about 130 miles an hour and just overthrew.
Going for strike 3 on the big fastball. And there's strike 3.
And the reason he was trying to throw 130 miles an hour the previous pitch was to make that changeup more effective. And it worked out exactly the way he wanted it to. This changeup right here. You see Morrison way out in front of that one.
And that's
but that was set up by the hard fastball before that.
That's the 3rd strikeout of the day for Hovermill. That brings up C.J. Hill. He popped out his first time up. And he gets all of that one. And that is no doubt about it.
He hit that one on the nose.
That ball got up in the zone, and he gave it a ride way out of here in left field. So C.J. Hill with a solo home run here in the top of the 5th.
7th home run on the year, and there was no doubt about that one. As soon as that bat hit the ball, the wind or Coriolis effect or friction or anything else was not stopping that ball from going over the fence.
No. That brings up the leadoff hitter, Dale Arbaugh. And he is 0 for 2 so far, a pop out and a ground out. Yeah, the wind didn't have any effect on that one.
No, that one had a destination right over that left field fence, and it was not going to let anything else stop it.
Now, Fabre, the left fielder for the Raptors, hardly had to move. So 2 balls, 1 strikes to Arbaugh. 0 for 2 on the day. There's a strike. Evens the count at 2. 1 out here in the top of the 5th. The Raptors trailing 3-0. Southern Maryland has played flawlessly so far today. Been solid in the field, and Blanton has really been strong on the mound. And they've gotten the key hits when they need them.
I believe that home run was Hovermill's first that he's given up all year.
It was. First home run. The Raptors as a team coming into the game today had only given up 6 home runs all year in 30 games.
Yeah, they usually are very good about keeping the ball in the park, but that one was got away from Hovermill, and he paid for it for sure.
That brings up Fitch, who's 2 for 2 with an RBI. as Arbaugh walked. Scored a run and had an RBI double his first time up.
Again,
I'm sorry, his second time up.
this Hawks team, they are known to run. They are very successful stealing bases. That's why Hovermill is paying so much attention over at first base. And then blows a high fastball right by Fitch.
Had a base hit to right center his second time up, which drove in a run, and he stretched it into a double when the Raptors bobbled the ball out there. There's a fly ball into center field. Preble has to go back, and he gathers it in. Again, that wind really causing trouble.
Yeah, Preble thought he was parked under it. Then the wind pushed it about 10 to 15 feet to his left, so he had to regroup underneath the ball again.
That brings up Titano. He had an RBI single his first time up. He lined out his last time up. So he's hit the ball hard both times up. 2 outs now, runner on first. There's a ground ball to second. Burgess bobbles, throws to first for the third out. So, Southern Maryland picks up a run on the home run by C.J. Hill, and they lead 3-0 after 4.5 innings of play. We'll be right back after this.
Interested in career success? Get to Montgomery College and we'll get you going. You can earn an associate's degree in only 2 years. With 3 campuses, award-winning faculty, and multiple online learning opportunities, Montgomery College will empower you to set your course and succeed. Want to pursue a bachelor's degree? If you start at MC, you can save 1/3 on total tuition costs of a 4-year program. Apply today.
And welcome back to the Germantown campus of Montgomery College. We're all set for the bottom of the 5th. Teddy Grass leading off for the Raptors. He got on through an error his first time up.
Yeah. Speedy Teddy Grass motoring down the line caused the first baseman to drop the ball. So good hustle does good things for you.
That's right. He came charging out of the box and never let up and earned himself a way on. 58 pitches so far in the game for Nick Blanton. Very efficient through 4 innings.
Very efficient, very effective, inducing a lot of fly balls, not very hard hit balls.
And he wastes one way outside, trying to get Grass to go fishing with the 2-strike count. Ball high and outside.
Yeah. He was trying to do the same thing Hoverville did. Send him up with some heat off the plate and then come back with an off-speed pitch.
And Teddy Grass swings right through it for strike 3 and the first out of the inning. And that brings up Chris Coakley.
You see right here, just a really effective changeup that rides back in on the right-handed hitter. Swing and a miss.
Coakley popped out his first time out. We've had a lot of pop-ups today.
It seems to be the type of pitcher that Blanton is. He's not a ground ball pitcher, he's a fly ball pitcher, but if they don't get good contact, they're easy outs.
And it looks like the pitches are being called from the bench, Joe. As you see, when the catcher goes into his crouch, he immediately looks over to the Southern Maryland bench. And that's not unusual at this level.
No, not at all. I mean, I think at the junior college level, these players are just taking the next step up, and the coaches have to do a little bit more in terms of teaching them how to call a game, how to pitch a game, and so that's why the coaches do a lot of the pitch calling at this level.
Ooh, they thought they had strike 3 there.
And that was pretty close. I don't think this umpire is calling very many low strikes.
He's not calling much on the corners.
He's got a little bit higher strike zone.
Gavin Moore was ready to whip it down to third. And he's going to get a chance to do it now because that was strike 3.
Yep, got the high strike on the changeup.
That brings up Chris Amparo, and he grounded out his first time up.
Chris Coakley right here. Again, the changeup comes in a little bit high, but I think that's where the umpire likes to call him.
First pitch is outside. And those 2 strikeouts this inning are the first 2 of the game for Blanton.
Yeah, he's not a big strikeout guy.
No, he's not. And he's relied on his fielders today.
Yeah, he only has 5 strikeouts per 9 innings. But, you know, he gets people to pop out.
He induces swings, and his fielders, other than that Teddy Grass getting on via an error, his fielders have been flawless. They've turned a couple of nice double plays today already. And Amparo pops it up in the infield, first baseman, right on the baseline. Makes it a little tricky, but he hauls it in. And that we have completed 5 innings now. And after 5 full innings of play, the Raptors trailing 3-0. We'll be right back.
Why is Montgomery College the place for you? MC has cutting-edge facilities on campuses in Germantown, Rockville, and Tacoma Park, Silver Spring. Montgomery College has 130 exciting student life and athletics programs. Montgomery College has more than 100 programs of study. MC professors were named Maryland Professor of the Year 9 of the past 12 years. Tuition at MC is up to 50% less than at 4-year public colleges and universities. Make your move at Montgomery College.
We know you have dreams, a great job, a better life. Career success starts at Montgomery College. MC helps you get the hands-on education you need for the job you want. And you can save up to half the cost of attending other colleges. Career success. It's in your future. Start your future now at Montgomery College.
And welcome back. We're all set for the top of the 6th inning.
And I want everybody to be sure to check out the MC Raptors YouTube channel at youtube.com/the RaptorsMC. That's where you'll find a lot of the broadcasts we do and a lot of highlights. And, you know, maybe even that highlight right there. And my man Michael Brown over here, you'll see him out at almost every Raptors home game and even a few road games, and he's posting great highlights even when we're not doing the full broadcast.
So Derek Titano grounds out to start the 6th inning. And there's a ground ball to third. Austin Grass with the long throw for the out. That was Botdorf.
Yeah, you didn't even have a chance to announce him. He already hit the ball.
Yep, he's now 0 for 3. It struck out twice, and now he's grounded to third.
2 pitches, 2 outs, and that's a lot more efficient than Hovermill's been for most of the game.
That brings up Trevor Birch, and he's popped out and grounded out. It's been a well-played, well-pitched game. The difference right now is just a couple of mistakes, or by Hovermill, you could say a couple of mistakes, or just some good hitting by Southern Maryland.
Well, you know, obviously the home run was, just good hitting by Southern Maryland, but a couple bobbles out in the field have really cost the Raptors. The bobble in center field that could have kept a runner on third. A runner scores in the first inning, and then some more plays that weren't so good.
There's a deep drive to left, but Fabre runs it down. Nice running catch there by Rayo Fabre in left field.
Had his wheels on there.
Showed off his speed, and so Hovermill with a very efficient 6-pitch inning. We've played 5.5. We'll be right back with the top of the 6th after this.
Hi, I'm Tim Kirkchin with ESPN, and you're watching Raptor Baseball on MC TV.
And welcome back to the Rockville campus of Montgomery College.
And while we have
Germantown campus.
One of these campuses we
One
have
of these
over here.
campuses.
While we have a minute here, we want to remind everyone to follow the Raptors on social media, on Twitter and Instagram. Follow at MC_Raptors, and on Facebook and YouTube, subscribe to / the Raptors MC. You'll get all the latest scores and updates of MC's teams, the video highlights, and all of our full MC TV sports broadcasts. And make sure to check out the MC Raptors webpage at mcraptors.com for news, live stats, and more. And for all our social media, make sure you subscribe.
All right, Peyton Schubert leading off the inning. He is 0 for 1. So here we are, Joe, bottom of the 6th, and this is Peyton Schubert's only his second time at bat.
Yeah, that doesn't happen often.
And he lines one into right, and that's trouble. It's going to go to the wall. Schubert going to second. He might go for 3. He's going for 3. Here comes the throw, and he slides in easily with a triple.
That throw never caved because Demino bobbled the ball on the relay, so he just held it instead of throwing it in there. A good piece of hitting right here. Pulling the ball. Finally got the barrel of the bat on the ball against Blanton here. You see him, like the hat flying off, the wind blowing the hat all over the place. Schubert's motoring around to third.
That's his 3rd triple of the season, and that brings up Rayo Fabre with a golden opportunity here to pick up a run. As the Raptors now have, this is as far as they've gotten around the bases, Joe.
And they've got the co-leader and RBI on the team, so the perfect person to have up right now.
And he bounces one to short. That should score a run, and it does. So a fielder's choice RBI grounder for Rayo Fabre brings in Peyton Schubert and cuts the Southern Maryland lead. Let's take a look at it.
Why Fabre was put at the top of the lineup. He makes contact, and in that situation, it's exactly what you need. Just put the bat on the ball, and you'll more than likely get a run in.
And that brings up Burgess.
Yeah, who knows if that is going to be the beginning of another patented MC Raptors rally.
Burgess 0 for 2. Line out and a ground out.
Let's see how Blanton responds here. He got hit hard by the first batter who came around to score. Let's see how he responds.
And ball outside. His control has been excellent, Joe, and that and the Raptors maybe have been a tad impatient.
Yeah.
But he's throwing a lot of strikes.
Yeah, the book on him is that command can sometimes be an issue for him, but he's been very locked in so far in this game. Like that hit by Schubert was the only really hard hit ball against him so far.
That's his 82nd pitch of the game right there. There is action in the Southern Maryland bullpen. from our vantage point, it's difficult to see who it is because we're looking through a mesh fence, but there is action out there in the Southern Maryland bullpen. And that makes sense, Joe, when you look at Blanton's numbers on the season. He really hasn't thrown that many innings.
No, he's only thrown 17 innings. It's only his 5th appearance on the season. So, maybe he doesn't have, haven't built up the arm strength yet. But, as you can see in that pitch right there, he's still throwing cheese.
That's
that
for
the Raptors,
sure.
that the Raptors haven't caught up with.
Nope. Bird just swung right through that one for the second out of the inning. And that brings up Austin Grass. And he's 1 for 2. He had the first hit of the game for the Raptors last inning, a single.
Sorry, Mr. and Mrs. Blanton.
That wind is really picked up. That flag is whipping around out there. It comes and goes, it swirls, it changes direction.
It looks like right now it's blowing in where it was blowing out earlier.
The wind rules the roost out here at Germantown. 2 balls, no strikes now to Austin Grass. 2 outs. Bottom of the 2nd, or bottom of the 6th. The Raptors.
We're going back in time?
We're going back in time. And there's another. Oh, didn't quite get through because it was off the fist. Came off the bat looking like a base hit up the middle, but it was sort of a knuckleball coming off the bat. Easy play for the shortstop. So we've played 6 complete. The Raptors do pick up their first run in the game. It's 3-1 after 6.
We know you have dreams, a great job, a better life. Career success starts at Montgomery College. MC helps you get the hands-on education you need for the job you want. And you can save up to half the cost of attending other colleges. Career success. It's in your future. Start your future now at Montgomery College.
And welcome back. And there's a good look at Raptors head coach Dan Rasher. Of course, we talked earlier in the game about Dan picking up his 400th career win earlier this season. What an accomplishment. Joe, I just got to say, to win 400 games in 13 seasons, not even 13 full yet, he's in the midst of his 13th, at D3, that's quite an accomplishment.
Yeah, I mean, if you just really, really think about it, like to win 400 games at anything, I don't care if you're talking about pickup ball, sand lot, all the way up to the majors or anywhere in between, that is a significant accomplishment, and that it takes the patience, it takes the skill to be able to do that. So Dan Rasher, congratulations.
Takes a lot of consistency, and there's a line drive into center field. Preble runs under it, hauls it in for the first out. Wind, I think, held that one up a little bit.
That wind held it up. It's a bit of a run for Preble. He's been playing in a little bit more into right center, so he had to run that down a little bit. But it hung up in the air long enough for him to get under it.
That brings up Seth Morrison. He walked and scored his first time up and then struck out his last time up. Just back to Dan for a second, but to win 400 at the D3 level where there are no scholarships, there is no financial assistance at all to your players, it just speaks volumes about this guy.
No housing, no lights, I don't know, no motor cars, not a single luxury. Yeah, but he's been able to churn out winning team after winning team after winning team, going to nationals and numerous times.
And as he said in the piece that we aired in the first inning, next stop 500. I mean, if he stopped coaching right this minute, he's going in the Hall of Fame at Montgomery College without question.
I don't think that's his plan, though.
No, it is not. And that brings up C.J. Hill, and he hit a bomb to left field his last time up, popped out his first time up. But that home run his last time up was absolutely no doubt about it.
That was a no-doubter. Hit right on the button.
And Overmill took something off that one.
Well, he's trying to nibble on the outside corner, either trying to get him to chase or to graze the black.
There's curveball. Bounce to third. Grass with a tough hop. Long throw for the out.
Nice
And a
playing.
very efficient inning for Hovermill as his 90th pitch of the game records the third out of the inning. And we have played 7.5. Raptors trailing 3-1.
I can't fucking move up in the plate because if I step over. I didn't say move up. Back off. I can't. I mean, he's pitching me outside. What am I supposed to do?
Why is Montgomery College the place for you? MC is an 18-to-1 student-to-teacher ratio and convenient day, evening, weekend, and online classes. Montgomery College provides academic and career support services to help you reach your goals. MC students come from more than 160 countries. MC has transfer agreements with more than 40 colleges and universities. MC provides career planning services to jumpstart your career. Call or visit us online to make your move today.
And we are back on the Germantown campus of Montgomery College, and we have a pitching change for Southern Maryland. Number 10, Nicholas Norris, now in relief of Nick Blanton, who did a fabulous job for the Hawks.
Oh, he was absolutely electric out there. Had a no-hitter going for about 3.5, 4 innings. But now we see Nicholas Norris, who comes in with a 2-1 record and 10.2 ERA.
He's a lefty, so that's a little bit different look for the Raptors, and physically not as big as Blanton.
Not as big, but he comes into the game. He's a strikeout pitcher, 10 strikeouts per 9 innings.
So we'll see what happens. We'll see what he's got. We don't have much of a scouting report on him, so we'll see what develops here for the Raptors in the bottom of the 7th.
It looks like in his delivery, he's got a little bit of a hesitation right before he throws the ball.
Yeah, that's
he's kind of a pause to throw off the timing of the hitters.
Right at the top of his windup, kind of a little bit of a pause,
yeah,
which is
he draws the ball back behind him, and then there's a little bit of a pause, a little hesitation there.
About a half a beat.
Again, just enough to throw your timing off as a hitter.
Yeah, that's got to be confusing to a hitter. That may take a little bit of study here. The Raptors,
they don't have much time to study. Well, they're already at the bottom of the 7th.
Running out of chances. And again, Blanton really handcuffed him, allowing just the 1 run over 6 innings. Very efficiently done. Pitched Blanton with 88 pitches in 6 innings. And we understand that we cannot see the Raptor bullpen from here, but we do understand that there is action in the Raptor bullpen. That would not surprise me. Hovermill has gone 7 full, and
Marte
gets hit by a pitch. So the leadoff batter is on. That brings up Darren Preble. And Jamil Kanan looked through the ether there at Jamil. Jamil's been their middle reliever setup man extraordinaire all season long.
Yes, and excellent strikeout picture coming out. Coming in relief for the Raptors.
So the leadoff batter on. That brings up Preble, who is 0 for 2. Marte at first after being hit by the pitch. Last time up, Preble hit into a double play.
And as locked in as Blanton was, Norris has not been able to find the strike zone. He's already hit a batter. He's down 2-0 already. So I guess this might be the Raptors' best chance to come back in this game is the pitching change.
Other than the inning they scored, they really did not threaten at all. And frankly, I'm sure the Raptors thought last inning when they got the leadoff triple that they were in for more than just the one run.
It'd be interesting to see if Preble has the green light here, 3-0.
And he takes it for ball 4. So that puts 2 runners on. And like you said, Joe, Norris having trouble with that strike zone. That brings up Teddy Grass. And Grass was on through an error and struck out.
Is this the Montgomery College version of attrition? Just like wait them out. We'll wait them out. Just hang on.
Keep them close as we get a visit to the mound. I believe that's Todd Snell. It's hard to tell with the hoodie on, but let me tell you, he needs that hoodie today because it is darn cold here.
It is cold. The sun keeps going in and out. Wind's blowing all over the place. We have all the weather here at Germantown campus.
You can experience all 4 seasons in one afternoon at Germantown. The dirt is swirling around in the infield. So 2 on, nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th for the Raptors.
Teddy squaring the bunt.
Shows bunt, nice one, deadens it right out in front of the plate. Throw is off the base, a run will score. Here comes Marte to score as a beautiful bunt, and they threw it away. So
Norris comes into the game. He hits a batter, he walks a batter, and he commits an error. It's a run to score. So he is off to a pretty inauspicious start here.
That is for sure. Now the Raptors have runners on 2nd and 3rd, and there's a pitching change. This is the second visit to the mound in the inning. So Norris is going to have to come out of there as he does not record an out. And the Raptors have cut into the lead now to make it a 1-run game. They have 2 runners in scoring position and still nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th. And we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back with a new pitcher for Southern Maryland. And we are back on the Germantown campus of Montgomery College. We have a new pitcher in for Southern Maryland, James Nadeau.
Nadeau comes into the game. No record, 0-0, a 13.5 ERA. Seems to be a hard-throwing righty out there.
And that wind, I don't know if you can hear it, folks, but it is just whipping around. So, and Nadeau comes in a bit of a tight spot here. 2 runners on for the Raptors, 1 run already in the inning, and nobody out, and Chris Coakley will be the first batter that he faces.
Nadeau has only thrown 2 2/3 innings so far this season, but he's given up 2 home runs in that short amount of time in his 3 appearances.
So this game is going to test the depth. He's got an unusual arm motion as well, Joe.
Yeah, the right arm drops down first, then comes up violently before heading toward the plate.
It looks like it would be hard on the elbow.
Yeah, somehow it seems to work for him. Hopefully there's no arm injury that comes from that kind of herky-jerky motion.
Well, if it's possible, the wind is blowing harder than ever. As the flag is about as straight out as you're going to get it. The trees are. Look at that wind on the picture there, Joe. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean when we were doing the pregame, we almost got run over by
the
batting cage.
That I have never seen before.
That the wind blew the batting cage at us.
It did. Coakley shows bunt. So the Raptors are a good bunting team, as we've seen. And Preble runs well at third.
I doubt if they'll try to do a squeeze here because only down 1. They got
a nice situation here.
Yeah, they got a beautiful situation. 2 runners in scoring position and no outs.
Yeah, you don't want to run into an out. You're out of the traditional double play situation.
We get word that the Hawks have freshman pitcher Tyler Mudd warming up in the pen too. So I guess Nadeau better be on his game if he wants to stay in for a while.
There's strike 2. And Coakley swings and misses, strike 3 for the first out of the inning.
So, unlike Mr. Norris, James Nadeau comes in and strikes out the first batter he faces. Already more effective.
And that brings up Steve Clapper as a pinch hitter. Clapper, a clutch hitter for the Raptors, hitting .314 for the season. 12 RBIs on 16 hits. So you talk about efficient.
Well, that's a good person to have up right now to again get the bat on the ball. If he gets it anywhere
to the right side,
it'll be a tie game.
And he takes strike 1.
Nice off-speed pitch there by Nadeau.
And the door of our booth just blew open and almost gave me a concussion. So,
Wait, Michael, how many fingers am I holding up?
7. So Steve Clapper.
I don't know. I can't count that high, so I don't know if you're right or not.
After all, we're in TV. We're not scientists. And almost hit Clapper. So runs the count now to 2 balls, 1 strikes. Raptors with 2 on, 1 out, bottom of the 7th.
Clapper's
1 run in already.
Play. He wants to put the play.
That's exactly what he wants to do. He wants to get the bat on the ball.
That was a good pitcher's pitch right there.
That sure was.
Started inside and rode back out over the corner of the plate.
There's high and outside. Of course, Joe, today's game is going out live on MCTV. It's also being streamed over the internet. As a matter of fact, we heard from an old friend of ours in Detroit, Michigan, Ed Clark.
Former student, done good. Well, kind of good.
All kind of good. He formerly worked for the University of Maryland. He now works for the Detroit Lions, and we understand he's watching in the comfort of his mansion in Michigan.
The The palatial estate that he has out there is all due to the tutelage of people like you and others at Montgomery College.
Scott Youngblood. And if I know Ed Clark, he's got his feet up and a beer in each hand.
Hi, Ed. I see.
And probably a bag of pork rinds in his lap.
It looks like Khalil Carroll went out to pinch run at second base.
That's our first look at Khalil this year. So, and he, of course, represents the go-ahead run.
Yeah, he's usually a pitcher, but they got him out here for speed to maybe possibly be the run that gets them the lead if they can bring him around.
And Peyton Schubert up. He had a triple and a run and scored a run his last time up, which was just last inning. So Raptors now turning the batting order over much quicker. There's a line drive down the right line. It's in there there's one run in. Preble scores. Here comes Carroll.
Score at least 3.
And here comes Clapper. And a bases loaded triple for Peyton Schubert.
Second triple of the day. Both of them out there to right field. And you see here, barrel of the bat on the ball, hits it right down the line, just barely fair. And 3 speedy runners all spin around the bases, clears them all off. And nice job there by Schubert.
That brings up Rio Fabre with Schubert now 90 feet away as the Raptors really got it going on this inning. And I got to say, it all happened when Nick Blanton had to be relieved. The Raptors have gotten into the Southern Maryland pen and feasted.
Yeah, Blanton pitched so well that, we thought this, could potentially be just like him cruising through the whole game. But him having to come out, this Southern Maryland team doesn't have a lot of pitchers with great ERAs.
Fabre hits it deep to center. It's caught, but here comes Schubert tagging up, and he scores easily for the Raptors' 5th run of the inning. So a 5-run rally here in the bottom of the 7th. The Raptors all of a sudden up 6-3.
Again, good hitting by the RBI leader from the team. He gets the bat on the ball, especially with a runner on third base. All you need to do is get the ball out of the infield, and the third base runner is most likely to score.
So now the sacks are clean, and that brings up Will Burgess with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. So Peyton Schubert with 2 triples. How often do you see 2 triples by the same hitter in a game? Not often.
No, that nearly never happens at any level.
Both of them clean, no errors involved, and he's the hitting star of the day, that's for sure. And of course, that last one was a bases clearing triple, 3 RBIs.
His average has definitely risen on this day.
Boy, that's for sure. And, we talked earlier about there's a number down the line right to the first baseman for the easy out for the 3rd out of the inning, but not before the Raptors put a 5 spot on the board. 1 hit, 5 runs, thanks to walks and hits batters. So after 7 complete, the Raptors on top, 6-3.
Interested in career success? Get to Montgomery College and we'll get you going. You can earn an associate's degree in only 2 years. With 3 campuses, award-winning faculty, and multiple online learning opportunities, Montgomery College will empower you to set your course and succeed. Want to pursue a bachelor's degree? If you start at MC, you can save 1/3 on total tuition costs of a 4-year program. Apply today.
And we are back, and the Raptors making wholesale changes here with their defensive lineup. Number one, of course, Jamil Kanan coming in as the pitcher. Austin Grass has moved from third base to catcher. Steve Clapper, who pinch hit the last inning, has moved into right. Harold Marte has moved from first to third. And Josh Sherman is now in at first for Marte. So I think that covers everything, Joe.
I think that's everybody who's moved all around. They're shuffling chairs out there. But some of these moves were predicated on moves that happened in the last half inning when Teddy Grass got pinch run for, takes him out of the game, which means that Austin has to move to catcher. They need a third baseman now, so they move Marte over from first and bring in Sherman. And Clapper is out there and right, possibly as a defensive substitution there. So now, in theory, they got a better defensive team out there to protect this lead.
The Raptors now with a 3-run lead, and Jamil Kanan on the mound, and he's been very effective this year, Joe.
Yes, indeed. He's a very hard-throwing strikeout pitcher. 13.32 strikeouts per 9 innings. He got 3 saves on the year as well.
And he's first batter he's going to face is Darryl Arbaugh. And he is 0 for 2 with a walk. So Jamil Kanan.
He's a big guy, but comes in completely sidearm. So where you think the ball will be coming out from a pitcher that tall, actually comes out kind of off his hip.
And he's such a big guy that with that big stride, but he is behind in the count here at 2 balls, 1 strike.
The coaches say that Kanan has hit 90 miles an hour on the speed gun.
There's strike 2. And Dan Rasher tells me he is almost surreally calm, that nothing bothers him. He's just not emotionless, but just super calm. That's a great attribute for a pitcher, I think, particularly a guy that could come into some tight situations.
Yeah, I mean, you need that type of mentality that, that there's obvious tension when you're coming into a game, especially when you're coming in with a lead that you're trying to protect. But also he may be coming in with, runners in scoring position. So you got to maintain that calm demeanor in order to be able to execute your pitches and think the game to be effective. And he's been able to do that so far this year.
He's run the count full to the leadoff hitter, and he loses it. So Kanan comes in and walks the leadoff hitter, and that brings up Finch. And Finch had a single, an RBI double, and he's popped out. So he's had a good day at the plate.
Yeah, he was a nemesis to Mike Hovermill earlier in the game.
There's a line drive, base hit to center field. Preble gets it on 1 hop and gets it back in. Arbaugh has to stop at second, but the first 2 runners in the inning are on, and that brings up the best hitter, that brings up A.J. Domino, the second best hitter.
I mean, I don't know, pick your poison between those two.
Yeah. Pick your poison. They're both swung the bat very well today.
Exactly. Domino's hitting over 300.
And he takes strike 1. Two runners on here, nobody out. Top of the 8th inning. Fouled back. So Kanan quickly ahead in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. 2 runners on first and second. Raptors with a 5-run rally in the bottom of the 7th to take the lead 6-3 after trailing the entire game. And there is strike 3. That was a nice pitch.
Nice pitch right on the outside corner there. No chance at all for Domino to do anything with that pitch.
And there it is. Boy, that was just a tough pitch.
Yeah, and nice frame job there by Austin Grass, too.
And that brings up Titano. He is 0 for 2. Does have a walk and a steal. And he takes strike 1. I wonder on such a cold day like this, Joe, does the pitcher have trouble gripping the ball, say, on his breaking stuff?
I think that can be the case. I know pitchers like to blow into their hands to try to keep them warm, to keep the tactile feel of the ball so they can grip it better and execute their pitches. But yeah, it is more difficult when it's cold out, and especially when it's windy and cold, where you're losing the moisture on your hand to be able to have that contact with the ball.
Oh yeah, it's very dry out here today. We had a little shower in the morning, but you wouldn't know it. It's bone dry out there now. This wind is cold and dry.
I do know this MCTV crew knew it when we were setting up this morning.
Oh yeah. I got another question for you after this pitch. In this kind of wind, will it move the ball as it's pitched?
I think it will. I think it affects the off-speed pitches more, as we saw, early in the game, that home run hit way over in left field. If you have the ball going fast enough, the wind's not going to do as much to it. But the off-speed pitches can be moved by the wind. So.
That was outside. Grass wanted it.
Well, but the wind, if the wind is behind the pitcher, you can make that fastball just a little bit faster.
Yeah, put a little extra zip on it. Now it's off the fist, right at Rayo Fabre. He gathers it in for the second out of the inning.
I don't know if with this type of wind there is any right at anybody anymore.
Well, that's true.
Because he thought he got to a place where if there were no wind, he'd be able to catch it. Then he had to take 4 extra steps to get to where the ball was moving to.
That is very true. That is very true. As soon as the words came out of my mouth, I saw him move, and I go, not quite, Michael. So that brings up Cody Bodorf. And he is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a ground out. 2 outs now in the top of the 8th. 2 runners on for Southern Maryland.
And Jamil Kanan has done a great job. Like, he came in the game, put 2 people on base, but he's already battled back, and they haven't advanced. They've got 2 outs. If he can get this one, get himself out of the inning, and he'll have done his job very effectively.
That is for sure. There's a strike on the knees on the inside corner.
Again, Kanan's this big guy, power pitcher, comes off the side there. They're working with him to develop an off-speed pitch, a changeup or a slider or something like that that can, make that fastball seem that much faster.
And that's a little bit too low. So 1 ball, 2 strikes now. Good look at Jamil Kanan.
Kanan's blowing into his hand, like we were talking about. He's blowing into his hands as he's walking back up the mound, up to the rubber.
17 pitches in the inning for Kanan. Good look. And he swings right through it. So Kanan allows the first 2 runners on and then sets the next 3 down in order with a couple of strikeouts mixed in. So after 7.5 innings of play, the Raptors on top 6-3.
We know you have dreams, a great job, a better life. Career success starts at Montgomery College. MC helps you get the hands-on education you need for the job you want. And you can save up to half the cost of attending other colleges. Career success It's in your future. Start your future now at Montgomery College.
And we are back on the beautiful campus of Montgomery College here in Germantown. We have another new pitcher in for Southern Maryland. It's number 19, Tyler Mudd.
Tyler Mudd comes into the game having pitched 13 2/3 innings. He's got a record of 0-2 and an ERA of 10.54. And with this Hawks team, there are a couple of guys who have ERAs in the 5 or 6 range, and then there's like a big drop off of guys in the 10, 11, 12 ERA range. So, they've got some high end starters, but they're still working on developing their relievers.
Well, they may have found another starter today in Nick Blanton, because he really pitched well.
Absolutely, he's been the star of the game for them this game. I know it's kind of a shame for Southern Maryland that he wasn't able to stay in the game longer, because he was throwing BBs out there that the Raptors could not catch up to.
Austin Grass leading off for Montgomery College. He is 1 for 3. He actually had the first hit of the game for the Raptors against Blanton. And he grounds it through the hole into left field. Third baseman dove, couldn't come up with it.
That looked like the first hit of the game for the Raptors. Same player into the same hole in the infield.
And that brings up Darren Preble. Get a good look here at the single by Grass.
Bodorf makes a good attempt at it.
And that brings up Marte. So Harold Marte up now. And he hits a fly ball into right center. The center fielder over, drops it. He dropped it. As the wind definitely played a part in that miscue.
I think that's the case without a doubt. The ball goes up in the air. It looks like it's going nearly to straightaway center, but as a center fielder, keeps ranging, tries to make a basket catch there instead of getting under it, and just hits off the heel of the glove. So that's an error out there in center field.
That is clearly an error. Tough chance, but an error nonetheless. And now Preble up with 2 men on, nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th as the Raptors look to tack on some insurance.
Preble gets up there in the batter's box. That bat has a lot of movement. There's a lot of wiggle in there.
He's 0 for 2 with a walk. He scored in that 5-run bottom of the 7th. Came around to score on the triple by Schubert. So the Raptors threatening again here. They scored a single run in the bottom of the 6th, 5 in the 7th, and they're looking to add some more on here in the 8th against Tyler Mudd, the new relief pitcher for Southern Maryland.
And Mudd's having trouble finding the strike zone.
He's behind 3-0 in the count. Preble takes, obviously, for strike 1.
Yeah. When a new pitcher comes in and hasn't found the strike zone, why
help him?
Why help him out? Like, make him come to you.
Make him prove he can throw strikes, and he doesn't. Ball 4. That loads him up. And that brings up number 19, Josh Sherman, for his first plate appearance of the day. Of course, he came in defensively in the 8th inning after all the maneuvering by the Raptors in the bottom of the 7th.
And Sherman hasn't gotten a lot of opportunities. Only 14 at-bats so far, and 1 hit in those 14 at-bats.
A very solid player defensively, but with the limited at-bats, he hasn't really gotten it going. But he made a scoop at the end of the Frederick game last week, which saved a run, and that was the 3rd out of the game. And that run would have tied the game. So made a big play there.
Which is why he's in the game right now. Coming in as a defensive player now that the Raptors have gotten the lead.
So Josh Sherman with the sacks full of Raptors. Nobody out. Bottom of the 8th inning. Sherman swings right through that one. 4 strike 3. So that's going to bring up Chris Coakley.
Mud threw a nasty little changeup right there. Sherman could not handle it.
And Coakley takes it in the dirt. Nice save there by Gavin Moore. He's 0 for 3 on the day.
Yeah, without a lot of foul ground behind the plate right here, even if that ball had gone to the backstop, I don't know if Austin Grass would have been able to score.
Grass runs pretty well, but he is a catcher. There's a ground ball single into right field by Coakley. Here comes Grass with the run. Here comes Marte, and he's safe at the plate. Good throw, but Marte able to slide under it for the 8th run of the game. So a 2-run RBI single there by Chris Coakley.
And Coakley gets around on that and drives it right through the hole here. And right fielder throws it, and we don't see it here, but he hit Derek Titano on the relay, and Titano couldn't get the ball transferred from his glove. He bobbled it a little bit, which gave just enough time for the run to score.
Raptors aggressive on the base paths as they tack on 2 more here and now lead 8-3, and that brings up Steve Clapper. Clapper walked his first time up, and he also came around to score on that triple by Schubert.
I don't know. I think everybody came around on that triple by Schubert. I think you came around. I think you might have scored on that triple.
It was a veritable parade to the plate there after the triple by Schubert. Way outside. Pitcher looking a little discouraged out there, as you can kind of see the shoulders sagging after he delivers a ball. Raptors still with 2 on, Preble on second, Coakley on first. 2 in the inning to lead 8-3. Way inside. Count right now 3-1.
Yeah, Mud's pretty erratic right now.
He's all over the place.
He's all over the place. He's trying to throw his curveball so that it starts off the plate and curves back over the outside corner. It hasn't even been close.
And Clapper takes ball 4, so the sacks are loaded again for Peyton Schubert, who really has been the hitting star of the day for the Raptors. He's got 2 triples, and his last triple cleared the bases. And we've got another mound visit by Southern Maryland, Coach Snell, talking to Tyler Moore. I'm sorry, Tyler Mudd.
Mudd. His name is Mudd, Michael.
And Todd Snell leaves him out there.
I think that was just a visit to calm him down. Obviously, we saw his body language. He's trying to give him a little mental boost more than anything else.
So he has back-to-back triples in back-to-back innings, Peyton Schubert. Had a triple in the 6th and scored, and had a triple in the 7th.
What are the chances that he hits another triple?
Oh, my gosh. I think if he does, we're going to put his I don't know how you win money in these lottery things.
I don't know. We would have to name third base after him or something.
I know one thing. I've never seen a player hit 3 triples in a game. I don't think at any level, unless maybe it was a little league triple.
Well, a little league triple is you hit it to the infield, and all the infielders jump on top of it, and you just keep running around the bases.
Yeah.
I don't think that'll be the case here.
There's a fly ball out to left. That's going to score a run. And Preble scores easily as the throw is way offline. So a sac fly for Peyton Schubert. And like we said, he is our hitting star of the day as he brings in another run.
So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that's his fourth RBI of the game.
Throw well offline. That brings up Rio Fabre. Raptors still with 2 on, as Coakley is out at second and Clapper's at first.
And Fabre questioned that last call by the umpire there, that strike call.
He looked at him like, are you trying to get home early?
Yeah, well, when you're as good of a hitter as Fabre, then
here comes another pinch runner in for the Raptors. Number 29, John Palin, in for Chris Coakley.
John Palin's a guy who way back early in the season when they were in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, playing in a tournament, he got hit in the eye with a pitch, and he was out for a good month. So it's good to see him back in the lineup.
Yeah, that is for sure. Now, he had a sac fly his last time up and an RBI fielder's choice. So he doesn't have a hit on the day, but he has 2 RBIs on a fielder's choice grounder and a sac fly. So he's delivered.
Especially with runners on. He's been very good for the team with runners in scoring position.
He walked his first time up, so he's had a positive day at the plate for sure. And of course, he is tied for the lead in RBIs, but he's got 2 RBIs today, so he was tied with Burgess. And if memory serves, Burgess has yet to get an RBI today, so Fabre has taken over the team lead now in RBIs.
And Tyler Mudd has thrown 25 pitches in this inning.
That's a lot, because it's been an efficient game. There's a ground ball single into left field, and here comes Palin as the pinch runner scores. Fabre tries to go to second, and now I could not see. I was blocked out.
Clapper scored on the throw back to second base that kind of went over the second baseman's head. So Clapper was able to come around and score.
Get a better look at this. There's Fabre's single. Here comes Palin around to score.
Palin just gets in the game and already comes around. Then the catcher threw over to second base, and the ball sailed on him, which let Clapper come around from third.
And Burgess now up. There's a pop in foul ground down the left field line. Out of play. So the Raptors with another 5 spot on the board to take charge of this one, 11-3. So there's a pop-up, and it's foul also.
So with the NJCAA rules, if the Raptors score 2 runs, if Burgess comes around to score right here, the game's over.
Yep. That is correct.
10-run rule.
The 10-run rule. The way this thing started, actually through the first 6 innings, I didn't think we'd be talking about that, Joe.
I mean, the way that Nick Blanton was throwing, we would have been talking about, how he shut down this Raptors team. But since he's left the game, it's been a completely different story.
And, we tend to forget, but Mike Hovermill pitched very well for the Raptors as well. He did allow 3 runs, but he was in command most of the way.
Yeah, victimized by an error. Did give up a home run as that foul ball comes right back at us. But, Hovermill did have a solid outing. I don't think it was his best work. I don't think he would think it was his best work.
No, I'm sure he would.
But, it's what the team needed. He got them deep enough into the game that they were able to get the lead and get to their relief pitchers, hopefully to close this one out.
Yeah, he pitched, and boy, look at the wind. Look at the dirt blowing. Umpires calling time to let the dirt calm down a little bit.
Let the dirt pass through.
Dirt's on its way up to the Walmart at Milestone. And Burgess takes strike 3 as he painted the inside corner, but not before the Raptors put another 5 spot on the board. And after 8 complete, Raptors in charge, 11-3. And welcome back to the Germantown campus, and Jamil Kanan stays on the mound for the Raptors. We kind of thought that would be the case, as he pitched so well there after a little bit of a false start on his inning. He really finished strong, so he comes back out there to start the ninth, Joe.
And I mean, it's not the first time that he's come. He's already got three saves on the season. Coach Rasher is willing to go with a hot hand when it's necessary, and when he feels that the pitcher on the mound is sophomore reliever is truly capable of doing the job, which Kanan absolutely is.
And he only threw 18 pitches in his first inning of work, so he's got a lot of life left in that arm, obviously.
As we see our shot from our high pod right there, that wind blowing, and it looks like we're on a ship.
Yeah, it really does. A good ship, Germantown.
But it's a great addition to our equipment.
And Trevor Birch leading off. He is 0 for 3 on the day. And he fouls off the first pitch. So the Raptors 3 outs away from their 21st win of the season.
But as we said before the game, the Hawks are not just going to roll over.
Oh, absolutely not. There's a pop-up to center field. Preble started back, comes in, and gathers it in for the first out of the inning. Well played. Again, with that tough wind.
Started back. Again, the hardest ball to play as an outfielder is a ball hit directly in line with you, that's where that ball started. But as soon as the wind took it, the Preble was able to track it down to make that catch.
So that brings up Gavin Moore, and Moore is 0 for 3 on the day. So the bullpen, and I'd say the fielding a little bit, has let the Hawks down this afternoon.
Oh yeah, I mean, to some extent, I feel bad for Nick Blanton. As well as he pitched out there today, he was completely let down by his relief pitchers. He was let down by some fielding errors out there. But you also have to give some credit to the Raptors bats too. Like, when the relievers came in and left some balls over the plate, they took advantage of it and put the ball in play and got some hits, got some runners around to score.
And Mike Hovermill is in position to get this win.
Which, again, when in the fifth inning, when it was 3-0 and Blanton was cruising, we didn't see that coming.
There's a fly ball to left field. Fabre right there for the out. Didn't have to move much on that one.
Real nonchalant out there, very confident in his abilities, and he's shown with some diving catches today that he's completely capable out there in left field, even though he has played some games at third base as well.
Blanton only allowed 3 hits, Joe, during his outing, and 1 run, and we just lost the scoreboard as it went out. It's slowly coming back. There it is.
I don't know, probably the wind.
Probably. So 2 outs here in the top of the 9th. The Raptors on the verge as number 25, Seth Morrison. He represents the potential last out of the ball game. Kanan dealing Boy, he's throwing BBs, Joe.
He is, and he's taking advantage of that high strike zone from this umpire that the sidearm action can make the ball rise as it comes across the plate. And when the umpire is calling the high at the chest strike, then that works to his advantage.
He's behind the count. 3 balls, 1 strike here. Top of the 9th. Been an interesting day. And he does walk Morrison. So that keeps the inning alive and brings up C.J. Hill, who had the big home run. Only home run of the game. Solo shot.
No doubter.
He's 1 for 3. Had a solo shot to left in the 5th inning, which at that point gave Southern Maryland a 3-0 lead. But since then, it's been all Raptors as they have put 11 runs on the board. And that's going to be strike 2 to Hill.
Nice off-speed pitch right there. When you can throw 90, and then you pull the string on a change-up like that, that just devastating. Buckles your knees.
And there is strike 3, and that is the end of the ball game as Jamil Kanan comes in, shuts the door, and the Raptors pull out the win 11-3 over Southern Maryland. Joe, I'll tell you what, it's not a comeback win, but it almost feels like a comeback win.
It was comeback enough. They were down 3-0, and then drop 11 on the Hawks. So they had to come back from somewhere. So they were able to do just that.
And so the Raptors pick up their 21st win of the season. They are now 21-10. Mike Hovermill will get the win as the Raptors' very effective use of not that many hits. Peyton Schubert, the hitting star of the day, with two triples. The latter, a bases-loaded triple, 4 RBIs for Schubert.
And a save by Kanan.
So, once again, from the Germantown campus of Montgomery College, the Montgomery College Raptors pull this one out 11-3 for Joe Thompson and everyone on the hard-working MCTV production team. Thank you so much for watching Raptor Baseball on MCTV.